The political drama in Maharashtra continues to unfold and continues to catch headlines across the country for quite a few days now. I have the man of the moment with me, Praful Patel. Sir, thank you for agreeing to speak with CNN News 18. The first question that everyone has in mind is why and how?
Well, I think why and how. How you've seen.
We have just seen the tip of the iceberg, though.
No. How you've seen is in the sense that the decision has been taken and our party has joined the government here in Maharashtra. Now, why? Why is another issue which needs to be explained. See, in the NCP, especially amongst the elected legislators as well as the rank and file, there's been a conversation going on for quite some time. When the MBA government was about to collapse because Shinde had left for Guwahati, there was already a meeting of all our MLAs in Maharashtra, and everybody, without exception.
2022.
Yes, 2022, without exception, everybody wanted we should be part of the government. Now, 2-3 things have to be looked at.
Without exception, are you saying all the 53 MLAs?
All the MLAs, without exception, wanted us to be part of the government. The second thing is, the MBA, when it was formed, it was a post-poll alliance. Now, it could have been a BJP alliance also, because the ideological barrier was broken the moment we tied up with the Shiv Sena. Radical, no issues. I mean, I'm not questioning them. Because that's their philosophy. The second thing is, we always fought against them. They were always far more vocal about our leadership than even the BJP.
But the BJP has been worse, sir.
No, I'm talking of the past, prior to 2019. And so it's okay if we can form a government with them. We don't have an ideological barrier then.
Despite all the tirade that the BJP had against you?
No, I'm talking of the Shiv Sena first. That the Shiv Sena, we broke that barrier. Now, if that can be overcome, then the MLAs and everybody, you see, there are 2-3 aspects to this. MLAs have a responsibility to the constituencies. They feel that, being with a combination which is ruling helps their constituency. 2, in terms of stability also, BJP in Maharashtra is the largest party, both in 14 and in 19. And they have about 115 MLAs. So you can give a stable, government and a better government when you have a large anchor party. Now, all these combinations and reasons, and then there's been, as I said, on and off, we have thought of that idea. I'm not saying that any decision was taken, but at least a thought process with, forming a government at some stage with the BJP was never ruled out.
So, there are 2 sub-questions to this. Firstly, when there was this thought process last year, you say, was there any action that was taken? Did the MLAs approach Sharad Pawar? Did you have a word with him? Did you all convey it to him? What did he convey back to you if you did?
No, I think he was definitely informed about the views of the MLAs. I don't think any decision was taken, because by which time the Shinde government had already come into existence. So I don't think it was like, you see, one thing is you take a decision and then you change a decision. No decision was actually taken.
So there was no question of having talks with the BJP at that time?
No, because by which time, as I said, the internal thought process was there, but the government had come into existence. So then once you have a government, why would you talk? But at the same time, as I said, since everybody was inclined on that direction, we definitely wanted to, at some stage, explore the idea and make it a reality. And I think that stage has come now.
So you said in the beginning that it has been quite some time that the NCP MLAs had been thinking on these lines. We talked about 2022. Was there any such thought before this, 2019, 2014?
Well, whatever happened in 2019, both Mr. Fadnavis and Mr. Pawar have said it to all of you all. It's on open platform. So that is what is best known, and as far as I am concerned, as anything with concerning Mr. Pawar, I don't talk about it at all. It's very clear
No, but I'm
that he is
asking
my
about the party.
mentor. No, but I'm talking because he is the boss of all of us. So I would at least choose not to speak.
Yes, I agree with you. You say he's the boss and you have till now chosen to not speak about it. But when you're talking about party democratically thinking in a particular direction, you talk on behalf of several MLAs, legislators
Yes,
as well.
of course.
I am saying that before 2022, was there a thought within the MLAs or the legislators cumulatively, maybe 2019 or 2014, that we should explore an opportunity to go with the BJP as well?
No, I think 2014, so we had unconditionally supported the BJP former government in Maharashtra and said we'll extend outside support. So that was that part of it. In 2019, Mr. Fadnavis and Mr. Pawar have said that they had spoken. And in 2022, I am giving you the background that the MLAs definitely wanted to be part of it. So at some stage, you see, Mr. Ajit Pawar also, as the leader of the legislative party, and senior leaders got together and they did say that, well, fine, this decision should be taken. And I think that's how the whole conversation, went forward. And I hope that, though we feel that there is some dissent here and there, largely, by and large, vast majority of the party is very much inclined to take this decision and endorse it.
But you will not give the numbers.
No, numbers, of course, from the elected legislators, overwhelming number, 40 plus, is already, they have already extended the support. And why are we, discussing it? This was all done in public, visibility. It was all the MLAs were present at the Raj Bhavan. You just turn your cameras and see, and you can check.
So, but we are not privy to the letter that was given to the governor as to how many signatures were there on that letter.
No, the signatures of the governor, the letter to the governor is given by Mr. Ajit Pawar. It is not given in the other context. So certainly we have the numbers. Otherwise, why would we be part of a government if we don't have the numbers? Obviously, the numbers have to be there. The people have to support. And as I said, it is a party decision. It's not a legislative party decision. If it is a legislative party decision, it's not right. The decision has to be taken by the political party, which has been done in this case.
Some say Ajit Pawar helmed this decision because he was unhappy with the kind of internal rumblings. He was unhappy that despite vocally saying a few things, it was not given the kind of importance. Is that true?
Well, we are a political party. There has to be some internal communication. There has to be some dissent. I mean, not has to be, but usually does. But that doesn't end up in some kind of, saying that, it's a feud or something. Yes, there have been different opinions and, different voices at times. But we worked as one family, and I hope we continue to work as one.
Do you see this as one of the factors that affected this decision?
Well, it's a combination of all the factors put together. Let's put it that way. I mean, it takes many different moving parts to come together to make such a important decision. And I think that's a culmination of various factors and ended up with this decision.
So you're saying that there's an overwhelming majority that has supported this decision, and that is why it's a party decision. Are you saying that even those who are now seen at, say, Silver Oak or Balad Estate office of the NCP, or are seen saying that they will support and they will be with Sharad Pawar, are also the ones who have supported you?
Well, I don't see, you see, as I said, there will be some voices of dissent. It happens. We are after all, a party also is a democratic structure. Our edifice is also like a pyramid. So we also would have various views. Let's assume for a moment that there are some differing views, but that shall all, I think, at some stage happily be resolved.
Okay, so there's the next question that I want to ask you about, and this is pertinently about what Sharad Pawar said today. He said that those who have betrayed me should not put my photo anywhere. You have said, even in the press conference yesterday, that he is the national president, and yet you violate the orders that were given by him.
Well, he's a mentor, he's a guru. We want to, we want to work under his guidance, and he's a very revered, respected figure, not only for us but for the whole of the state and probably large parts of the country. So, I think putting his photo is a sign of respect.
But you still continue to violate the orders, and that doesn't change.
Well, you see, these are all now, these are different views which will always emerge when, in such a situation, there is always a little bit of, discordant voices here and there. I would say, again I repeat, allegations being hurled, some actions being taken, all these things just keep going on. I am telling you very clearly that nothing has been done to violate any larger principle of the party.
So there's one thing that I want to ask you about, and that is really interesting. I had a word with the Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly just a while ago. I interviewed him, and he said that there is no group that has come to him saying that there is a split in the party. You have said that there is no split in the party, that it's a single party, but there are disqualification petitions that have been filed against 9 MLAs. There is an action taken by Sharad Pawar ji of removing members like you and Sunil Tatkare ji as the primary members. The other group says that this is a split. How do you see this? Or if you don't think that this is a split, then how do you explain these actions?
Well, I don't know how all this is just being floating around. My own assessment is that there is no split. My own assessment is that a majority of the party is intact, and my own view is that if at all somebody claims to be otherwise, there's no other forum. Who is going to be the forum? Either the Speaker or the Election Commission. But I hope it won't go to that stage.
So, but if there is no split, then how come your group seeks the disqualification of 2 MLAs, or the other group seeks the disqualification of 9 MLAs?
Again, I repeat, in such circumstances, there's some volatility. There is always, as I said, some claims, counterclaims, allegations. Who's removing whom? I don't know. It's again, all these kind of, it's like moving. Sometimes, not the leaders, but other people are becoming like a moving circus. They try to just play around. Like that ball is being tossed by the circus. The same kind of things keep happening. But the reality check is that a large section of the party united in taking a decision on these lines, and the answer is yes.
Yes, so there is one national president, but 2 state presidents for Maharashtra, 2 different whips for
I don't
Maharashtra.
know, I'm not going into any technical answers at this moment. But
you made that announcement, so obviously that has been done after a lot of thought.
No. There are various things which will come as time goes by. Let's first see, let's hope to see that everything falls in place. At this moment, please don't ask me to conjecture what will happen tomorrow, because it's so much of a dynamic situation. I'm saying this honestly because it is a dynamic situation. If I answer everything about what can happen or cannot happen, it does not give us the right platform to bring about a good case of, taking a united decision.
Fine, I take your point. I don't ask you about conjectures and about future. Let me ask you something about the past. Something as recent as Sunday. On Sunday morning, we saw that you and Supriya Sule went to Devgiri, and there was a meeting which lasted for over 3 hours. Interestingly, in the evening, you were seen at Raj Bhavan, Supriya Sule wasn't.
that's all right. She's definitely not very happy with our decision, but she was there, and yes, I agree. We had a good conversation. Sometimes you may agree, you may not agree, but that's also part of a healthy process within the party. And I think we needed to have some conversation, and it was good that she came. And I think she's a very mature, understanding politician now. I mean, besides my family relationship with the Pawars, but I'm saying as a politician, as a parliamentarian, she's done good work, and I acknowledge that, and I feel that sometimes you may have a good conversation, whatever may be the outcome of it, and I think that's exactly what happened on Sunday.
Is there a possibility that she may also consider the kind of decision that you have taken democratically in majority as a party?
I would, that's why I said it's a dynamic situation, therefore I can't answer in a hypothetical manner, because that's not fair, especially when you are, in a situation where you could resolve differences. Why should we close the doors for something good which can happen tomorrow by making some, rabid, random statements? At least that's not my style. You know me, and I think people who have followed me in Maharashtra or in the country will acknowledge that I am one of the people who speaks and chooses his words carefully, not as a guarded way, but because I would say that's a fair way of dealing with situations. And everybody needs a space, everybody needs time. Sometimes you think, because it's only been 2 days. Now in 2 days, maybe there are, claims and counterclaims. Should we immediately say today that all doors are shut, or we don't need to discuss and, debate this once again? We can.
Many see this as Shiv Sena Part 2 within your playing out in Maharashtra. Do you agree?
Well, you see, Shiv Sena Part 1 or Shiv Sena Part 2 is only, these are all conjectures. My only point here is that we have consciously taken a decision, no doubt about it. By a vast majority, absolutely no doubt about it. Now the question comes only is, how do we reconcile and try to bring everybody on board together? Till such time this process is on, there's no point talking about the next steps. The next steps only follow if, assuming we don't come to some kind of, hopefully to some kind of agreement. There's no conversation, but I'm sure we could talk. I have no hesitation in talking to my leader, or to Supriya, or to anybody for that matter. And I would, and I would urge, if there is some reasonable approach, we should definitely look at it that way.
So after the sudden change, and we wouldn't say unexpected, because there was a buzz in Maharashtra politics for quite a while that this would possibly happen, and we have been tracking it for some time now. There have been Mahurats after this. But, after this change, some say that it is likely that Ajit Pawar is now going to be the next Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Is there any such promise? Is there any such possibility that we are seeing in the coming year?
No. To be very honest, there is no such conversation. We have agreed to join the government, of course with respect and equality. And the Chief Minister is not a chair which you just keep playing around with. I think we have accepted whatever the decision, and that is the decision which the Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde Saab and BJP have already carved out. So it's best left to their discretion what they would like to do. We do not come into that process.
Would you want to talk about the kind of portfolios that NCP is looking at with 9 ministers in the cabinet?
No, NCP will certainly be looking at respectable portfolios. After all, we have not joined a government only just to be, becoming a minister is one thing, but we must be able to contribute nicely to the, functioning of the government and the development of the state. If we don't get right portfolios, how are we going to do it? So I'm sure this conversation will not lead to any kind of a problem in terms of, the right work for the right people. And it will be done very shortly.
Are we seeing that finance portfolio might go to Ajit Pawar, because that is what is the buzz?
I have no idea because I think portfolios are always decided by the Chief Minister. Of course, in coalitions there are dialogue and discussion. And I think, of course, Ajit Pawar was the finance minister in the previous government. I think he did a good job. He's known, in fact, in government to be a very decisive and a good minister. I'm sure if he gets that portfolio, he'll do not only justice to the portfolio, but for the development of the state, I think he would be the right choice to head that portfolio.
So just like the state, there is a buzz about the centre as well, and there are many speculations saying that you will soon be seen as a union minister.
I don't even know. We have had no conversation about anything in Delhi, and I don't think that was on the agenda. We were only busy forming a government here in Mumbai, and I have no idea at all.
But during any of your conversations with Ajit Pawar, with Amit Shah, is this something that came up really?
No, I don't think we brought it up at all. There is no discussion about any role to be played in Delhi. Now, these are matters, I'm sure, and again, let's not speculate about anything. I don't even know what is going to be happening in Delhi. These are not our prerogatives. The prerogative is of the Prime Minister, as always, and it should be. And why speculate and why even discuss it?
So, one of the last questions I want to ask you, and this is that, after this equation has changed, there is a buzz that Eknath Shinde and Shiv Sena, Shinde faction's importance in the overall scheme of things will reduce. What is your perception?
Well, I don't have any reason to believe that there would be any reduction in the importance of the Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena in this whole coalition. After all, the Chief Minister is from their party, and the arrangement is between the BJP and them, initially at least, and we are party now to that. But I think it's, as long as their equation is fine, I don't see any reason for Mr. Shinde's role to be diminished or his party's importance to be undermined in any way.
But do you see NCP as a more important partner in the coalition now?
No, we definitely see NCP as an important partner in the coalition. Now, I wouldn't say in terms of ranking, but I'm saying we are important, and we have only joined the government because we think that we should be important enough to contribute in a meaningful way. Otherwise, why join the government, and why would anybody want us to join the government? That's also equally true. There must be some merit.
That's fair enough. Last question to you, and that is that there is still a buzz that this may not be the last shock or the last earthquake in Maharashtra politics before we hit 2024 elections. Do you see any more earthquakes happening?
There are only 4 parties in Maharashtra, or 5 parties now because of the split.
Now.
So 3 are together. Now what other earthquake you're going to find? I really don't know. I can't see any other things, except some political leaders moving individually here and there, but I don't see any political parties moving or there being any major shocks.
An important day tomorrow. What is lined up for the show of strength?
No, I don't think there is, this show of strength is being played up in a way because unfortunately, I would say, nobody knew that when we planned the meeting for the 5th, we didn't have an idea that the meeting was also planned by the other side. Because there was some announcement. So we planned it, and we sent messages to everybody because 5th is, we needed 2 days for people to come to Mumbai. It's a big state. And so we informed people. Then we got to know there's a meeting the other side also, which is fine. There's no issue. There's no show of strength. People will come, they will endorse, and we know for a fact, there's no doubt in our mind that the vast majority of people are supporting. And you see head counts of people who don't matter can not be a yardstick. The head count should be of people who matter. And that you will see very clearly.
On that note, sir, thank you so much for having a word with CNN News 18 and for sparing your precious time.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinay.
On an important note, on all the political developments that have been happening, this is the most important voice from Maharashtra so far. Thank you for watching CNN News 18.